What's happening, Panda Nation? Peter from Panda here. I have been on the hunt for the perfect wallet, so let's check out this one. All right, guys, I've been on the hunt for the perfect wallet. It seems like there's been a lot of innovation in the wallet world right now. This one is by PESTON, and I thought I would check out some of these minimalist slim wallets because the wallet I've been using is a Coach wallet, and it's nice, and it's got leather, but one of the big problems is that because it's a leather like money clip, when I put things in it, and I've got a bunch of stuff here to try today, you know, when I put like a bunch of business cards in it, it stretches it out, and then when I take them out, because it doesn't retract and compress again, like everything else just falls out. It's way too loose. And so one of the problems with it is that when you have something like that, you always have to have like the same amount of stuff in it, right? I can't really shove any more business cards or credit cards into it. And when I am slimming things down or hand out a bunch of business cards, it's just risks losing stuff. So I picked this up. Like I said, it's by PESTON. And what this is it's actually a cheaper version of a lot of those other wallets that are like $80, $90. What you can see here is we have a kind of carbon fiber sides. I wouldn't say this is slim. You can see how thick it is. It does come with this little screwdriver here, and I'm assuming that's to tighten these things up if you need to, which is kind of interesting. It's actually a nice little hex screwdriver. So that's nice that it includes it. We do have a black money clip here. You can see the carbon fiber weave on there. It is really light, so I'm assuming like these plates on the outside are carbon fiber, but then you have a little bit of, I'm assuming like aluminum that act like spacers in here. Now, what I really hope on this is that I could take something like some money here. Now, what I will say is that because it's about credit card size, the money is actually going to be too big. So normally I would put it in my money clip like this, but the money is going to hang off the side. So that's one thing to keep in mind if you don't like folding up your money into quarters. Look at this. Got like $6 here. Yeah. It's most, I had to go and take out a loan just to get this amount of money so that I could use it for the demo. But you are going to want to roll your money up in quarters. Now, I will say this is a pretty strong clip, so I'm not worried about it falling out. This, because it's a little smooth as opposed to leather, I don't think is as grippy. So you can see here I can pull things out all right, but it's probably a little easier to pull this out from here than it is on my leather one, because the leather acts a little grippy on the reverse side. Now, you can also see we have a little cutout here so I can push things out, and we have elastic on each of the short sides, and then a little elastic right here on one long side. So everything is going to get loaded in on this side, and that elastic, interesting, you know, it kind of wants to open up a little bit like an accordion, and so you're kind of opening it on this side, but you can see inside here, hopefully maybe, that I guess that aluminum isn't like a spacer around the edge. There are two flat panels inside that just squeeze everything down. So what I did here is I grabbed some my business cards, because this is really what ends up happening is that I go to an event and I hand out a bunch of these and then they're gone. And then, you know, my wallet is quite a bit thinner. So I've grabbed a pretty decent stack of these. And then I also have my credit cards here, you know, a bunch of credit cards. Oh, and some more business cards. So we have a lot. We also have some other credit cards, because you're always going to have a few, right? And then I'm going to put a bunch of these business cards with it. Okay, so you can see how much stuff we have right now. That's like probably 3/8 of an inch. I don't think it's quite half an inch. It's definitely more than 1/4 of an inch. So I just want to see here. Look, it is exactly pretty much credit card sized. So it's going to be super space efficient. This is going to be used basically in your front pocket. So I'm going to go ahead and just put everything in here. I would say that this elastic is actually under pretty good tension. So that's impressive. And now if I push everything in here, it's going to kind of have to lever up the back end of this. Cool. Look at that. I'm actually pretty impressed. So the nice thing is if I'm going to a convention or a trade show or something like that, and I want to have a bunch of business cards, I can kind of load it up. But as I give these things away, and I don't have to worry about this falling out, which is actually really impressive. But if I need some stuff, I kind of push right up there in this cutout, and that lifts everything up. And now let's say I've gotten to the end of the day and I've given away my business cards. All right, well, I even got rid of a credit card. Gave that away too to some needy friend. You can see here that even with almost nothing in there, I have no problems with this stuff staying in there. That's pretty impressive. Now I'm going to throw out one thing here to keep in mind. one of the things that I really like, and I'm a little worried about the carbon fiber and this, I think, aluminum piece in here, is that I also use a RFID badge for getting it to work, and you swipe it. And the nice thing is I can put it on one of the outside sleeves on my current wallet, and then it'll definitely swipe. Here, I'm not sure if I put it in there, it'll register. It might, but on some of them, I've noticed that there's an elastic on the outside here too. So I think maybe I could put my ID badge on the outside and swipe it and get into my office. So that's probably what I'm missing right here, is maybe having something else, an elastic that goes across here, so that I can put one other thing on top of or on the outside of this. I want to jump back in here because I actually use the screwdriver. I realized that the way the elastic is sewn together makes this a little bit modular. So what I did is I actually unscrewed all these screws, because this was on the outside and the elastic ran through it. You can see the little channel right here where that elastic band was going in there, and then in the bottom, and then you unscrew it and you've got this plastic backing and then the carbon fiber. Now I understand that the plastic backing here is actually the structure. This carbon fiber I bet would break pretty easily. But now that I've done that and decoupled it from the rest of the wallet here, what I can do is I can slide this back in, and now what I actually have is the ability to take, like, say, my credit cards and put those generally back in here. Well, let's say I have an ID card or something like that. That's what I was talking about, you know, my badge to scan. I can put that theoretically on the outside here, and now have that on the outside and have all my other things on the inside. So I actually kind of like that. I will say that the risk here is that this whole panel now can kind of get pushed out, as you can see there. When I push these things out, this panel might come out, as opposed to that metal one that I showed you that had a couple of cuts here to kind of squeeze, to kind of brace in where the elastic holds it in. So to be honest, if this were a little bit cut in here, so that when I decouple it and then I put it in here, that it would kind of have a little lip or something that holds it against the elastic so that they don't come apart, would also probably be nice. As far as I can tell, I can't figure out any other way to configure it. So I also think that you could unscrew this side and take this money clip off if you didn't want that at all as well. So I do like the modularity of it. That's pretty clever. But in this configuration, I think it's going to meet my needs more so than in its original configuration. But since you get the screwdriver with it, you can do that as well. But otherwise, I would say this works pretty well. And I will tell you, this was way cheaper than some of the other minimalistic wallets that I have seen online. Literally $50, $60, $70, $80 or more. And as far as I can tell, this seems to have all the same features, just at like a $10 price point. So listen, if you want to pick this up, if you think this is going to work for you, I will put a link to this specific one in the description below so that you can slim up what you're carrying on an everyday basis. Check it out. Peter von Panda, out.